All right, the Athlon Cronus ATS PRO thermal scope. Specifically, we got the 25P-250. I'm going to split this into two parts. One, talk about what Athlon did here kind of mechanically about the housing itself. Then we'll split out a little bit about this exact core, this exact unit that we have. We have the 25mm lens with the 250 core. There is another option for a 35mm lens with a 400 core. So let's get into that a little deeper when we get into the images. But for now, let's get into it and go scare the crap out of some animals. All right, so real simple objective cover here. They did a real nice job giving you this knurled ring up here, focus in on your animals with. They kept it really, really simple here. You can tell that this is the focus ring in the dark, no problem. You can tell that you have this one button up here in the dark, no problem. And you can tell that this is your mag ring in the dark, no problem. I like how these match. They're easy to grab, easy to turn. The only thing I have mixed emotions about is having this singular button. So this is going to be how you start your recording. It's going to be how you open your menus. Once you get into your menus, you're going to use this wheel to navigate through the menus. Then you're going to use this button again to select stuff, again to back out of stuff. It's nice that it's so simple, but it's kind of a blessing and a curse because every once in a while I start a recording when I'm trying to open the menu. It's not that they did anything wrong here. It's just they're trying to keep it simple, which I like, but it's a little fidgety if you got your hands full in the dark. And then, of course, at the back, you've got your focus. This is going to be for you to focus the screen inside to your eye. Nothing major here. Works fine. They did a nice little QD style mount. Easy on, easy off. No big deal. There is an adjustment ability within it, so you can get it to fit your exact rail. Then you have the option to external power or to hook to your laptop to get files on and off of it. Nice little feature they did here. There's a light in here, a little LED that's going to come on when you plug this in for external power. Somebody at Athlon is a hunter. They know how aggravating it is to have these little lights that won't turn off, just like those of us that like using external battery packs. Worst thing you could have is a little LED that comes on and just refuses to turn off. You can see this thing for a mile in the dark. Well, they gave you a menu option to actually turn this off. So well played. Whoever the hunter is at Athlon, good play. Batteries, the unit does have an internal battery. It will run off of that internal battery, no problem. You also have these 18500, 2000 milliamp hour rechargeables. No big deal to change them out. Little quarter turn, gives you a little indicator. It's just enough button on these, you can feel them in the dark. Threads are also very coarse, no big deal to be able to do this in the dark and just kind of get it in there. The unit does not have to turn off to change the battery. It will run off that internal battery while you change this battery. You can have a pocket full of these things. You could go hours upon hours, no problem. But if that's still not long enough for you, or if it is cold enough that it is killing your batteries, you can always go to external power sources. Again, you've got that nice little cable plug-in option there. All right, that covers most of the housing. So now let's talk a little bit about the integrated apps. You've got a ballistics app and an actual thermal app, both of which work with this scope. We'll flip over to the app here and go through that a little bit. Turn on the Wi-Fi in your device. You'll be able to hook your phone or your tablet to it. You can use this thermal app. You can go into it. You can get to all your settings really easily. You can get to your brightness settings, contrast settings, so on and so forth. Gives you a lot of options. The picture-in-picture, if you like using that. Hot track just gives you a little indicator basically saying, here's the hottest spot in the picture. All your general settings. The manual will walk you through all this if you want to really get into it. The reticle functions. All right, I really like how many options they give you here. They give you brightness settings. You can make this thing just as bright atomic green as you want it to be, or just dim it down so it's not really washing your eyes out. Give you a lot of color options. You can make this thing just about any color you can imagine. I kind of like this yellow. It's kind of easy to look at, so we'll go with that. Then you got several different reticle options. They give you a whole PDF about how to break these reticle subtensions down. Give you 5 what they call MOA options. They give you another 5 they call a mill-based option. The only thing that's a little weird to me here is that these mill-based options, they kind of put 2 mils at each dot, whereas a lot of this stuff, if we were used to looking at our day scopes, we'd be used to seeing a half mil and a whole mil based off the short lines and the long lines versus 2 mils at each line or something to that effect. It's a little different. You can also go through your pictures and your videos down here at the bottom right. Local is going to be what you've already saved to your device. Remote is going to be what's on the actual scope. You can just go in there and then download them. No big deal. So we'll go here. We'll pick the first one. We'll tell it to download. It's only going to take a couple of seconds. Boom, it's downloaded to your device. Now you can view it, watch it, share it, send it, whatever you want to do. All right, and up here in the top right, you can actually change your palettes if you like white hot, black hot, red hots. Yet another thing that makes me believe that somebody at Athlon is a hunter. In this red hot version, it's actually a white hot palette that just turns the brightest functions red. In many of the other thermals, I noticed the red hot function will actually be a black hot and then highlight red. I really like running the white hot for the most part, and that little red indicator could be just a little extra thing to kind of set you off. It's almost like running that little hotspot indicator, but it just does it with color. Some of these other ones, there's a lot of color going on here. This iron bow thing, I mean, it's whatever you're into. There's every color of the rainbow in here. Sepia is a good one if you want something that's easy on the eyes. Pretty soft. It's not a overly bright thing. Once you open up your Ballistics app, just come over here to Connect Device. We're going to enter, this is our 25-250. We're going to edit our profiles. So let's go down here to B. Let's put the 22 LR and let's put our SK rifle match in. Then let's go set up our reticle. So what you're going to see here is kind of some default entries. And we can go in and we can change this. So let's set our reticle. We'll set our holdover colors. We'll leave them in blue. That's fine. We'll turn the brightness down a little bit, maybe. And let's go through here and let's delete these holdovers. That's just too much for our 22. So let's do something like 100 and 150. Oops, not 180, 150. Let's even do 200. Let's see how crazy that looks. Then we'll load them up, data transferred. And you'll be able to see kind of what this looks like. 50 yard 0, then you've got 150, and 200 yard holdovers. It's an insane distance for a 22 to shoot rabbits, right? Should work out very similar if you want to do some kind of a subsonic 300 blackout maybe, or these new 338 arcs, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, this is not bad. It's pretty intuitive. Seems like they're keeping updates to the app pretty well. So no complaints here. Image quality for this 250 core. What you will see is that in this 25, 50, 75-ish range, you get a lot of detail. No question about what we're looking at here. In the instances where we start stretching that out, 150, 200, it's a little bit harder, but it's still very manageable. And you'll spend a little bit more time observing the animal's movement. Depending on exactly what it's in, you may get to see more of its body and its mannerisms. You can get a really good idea on something in that less than ideal circumstance just by taking time to watch it. Are you going to use this and identify a deer at 300 yards? You're not going to know the difference in a deer and your neighbor's goat at 400 or 500 yards. Let's just be honest. Don't shoot your neighbor's goat, please. Or baby cow or something else at 500 yards. That is not what this is made for. If you need to shoot something at a very, very long distance, you need a much larger lens, you need a stronger processor, and Athlon's got some options for that. And Athlon's got some options for that, and they're doing pretty nice with this setup, this housing. It's very simple. I enjoy it for hunting. I actually prefer how simple this is compared to this whole array of buttons over here. And that's a little finicky in the dark. You can see where I'm trying to add pads to make it so that I can tell which button is which, and that's a little painful. That's a little painful in the dark. So absolutely, if this is where your budget is, yeah, they're doing pretty good with this one. So good luck, have fun. So yeah, good luck, have fun.